Hallelujah, msifuni Mungu katika patakatifu pake. Msifuni.
I thought it was no big deal. A multi-purpose center. So some meeting rooms, maybe a kitchen, offices, perhaps a daycare. How big a deal could that be? Turns out quite a big deal. The bishop is coming, marching band, let's have a parade, 9-story modern office building sort of big deal. But that's getting ahead of the story. I should have seen it coming, I guess. The greeting at the airport was a clue.
I'm Robert Kisanga.
Hello, Robert. I'm Charles Nsanya, evangelist of our congregation. Frank Kanza.
But perhaps this was a unique team of people, sent especially to greet us. So they were extraordinary by choice.
Who's the little one?
Evelyn. Joyce Media.
Hey, big guy.
Brian.
My hostess, Consoletta, and her son Ernest were certainly warm and friendly. Well, that turns out is a huge understatement. They were my family. Sunday morning church service at Msasani is just like at Mount Olivet. I mean, we're both Lutherans, we both like to sing a lot, so I'll bet we're just the same. Yeah, almost the same. They rock, they sway, they lean back, and they feel it. The visceral nature of their worship is astonishing. Really loud music dominates at first, of course, and may go on for a half an hour or more. There's a repetitive nature to their music that is both propelling and meditative. And the buttery swing of all those colors dancing is mesmerizing. This congregation, not so terribly larger than our own, supports 5 choirs. There's a lot of scripture reading, some very intense preaching, and several lay people taking part. And today, Mzungus, an affectionate term for white people from Mount Olivet.
And on behalf of our whole congregation back home,
na kwa niaba ya usharika wetu mzima kule nyumbani,
we offer our warmest and heartfelt greetings to you.
tunapenda tuwasalimu sana kutoka moyoni, ndani ya mioyo yetu kabisa, kwenu ninyi wote. Mbona tutashangilia jamani? Haleluya. Amen. Welcome to this congregation, and please, if there is anything, interact with them, talk to them, see them, laugh with them, sing with them, and God bless you.
Kitabu chetu ukurasa ule wa 267, mwimbieni Bwana ibada yetu ya siku.
Swahili is a beautiful language to listen to, without understanding a word. And slowly, you do learn some. Asante, thank you. Asante sana, thank you very much. Habari, how are you? Muzuri, I'm fine.
Bwana asifiwe. Apewe sifa. Barikiwe sana.
Bwana asifiwe. Praise the Lord. Suddenly, 2 or 3 hours have passed and the service is over. Well, not quite. No, we all gather outdoors to button it up with a blessing, some more music, and then fellowship.
I just turned 19 today.
And kids. Swarms of I am curious and unafraid kids. Their names were Samson and Glory and everything else, and they simply melted me.
Darling Jesus, oh, darling Jesus, you are the wonderful. I love you so much, darling Jesus.
Around here, what you're seeing here, this are all my friends that I made in Tanzania.
Their shower of love made the miles between them and my own family disappear.
They were all singing me songs on a Sunday morning.
So in return, I taught them mouth popping.
And then we all learned how to go do this. Okay?
One wonders what happens when these kids melt back into their neighborhoods, mouth popping. The next day, we encountered the rarest of animals while in Africa. A productive meeting. The story they told us of what Msasani is doing and what it intends to do left us astonished. Here it is in simplest form. They provide aid and support to the impoverished neighborhood they call home. They took us on a tour. The smiles of the kids were the only familiar sights.
Stunning little walk down the back street, huh?
Really?
It's just not something you see even in the inner city in America.
But they don't just give handouts. They make microloans. This AIDS widow is supporting her 2 daughters, selling popcorn and beans from a stand. The loan from Msasani launched the business, providing her with something to sell. She invited us into her home. She felt honored. We felt humbled. This grandmother, selling cooked meat from an open grill, also got a microloan. She invited us into her home, too. She shares this maybe 10 by 10 space with her 2 little grandchildren she raises alone. Mother and father are dead. She tried to express her gratitude.
Be careful. Watch your step.
Tanzania is exotically beautiful, but not the jungle this scene implies. This is a successful plant nursery owned by 2 widows and started with the help of Msasani. This congregation, our sisters and brothers, demonstrates incredible commitment to share what they have with others. And that brings us back to the multi-purpose center.
That way is similar to this half on this way.
Frank, a professional civil engineer by trade, heads up the committee. He led us on a tour and explained how the building played into their ministry.
So this is going to be the entrance foyer. We have got the glass door.
The building, as you can see, is a modern office building designed to appeal to upscale, successful organizations that will pay market rents. A portion of the building will be available to startups and faith-based activities, but it will be a professionally managed, for-profit trust.
Will they cater? Also, will they cater if you have a spirituality retreat, say?
Exactly.
You have a restaurant that could cater that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All the profits will be directed, not to the church, but to the needs of the Msasani neighborhood.
Using space to have workshops to equip widows for job skills, employment skills, and sort of...
The leaders of the church know, as we do, that financial giving rises and falls with the surrounding economy. This building will supply a steady and relatively predictable income stream that will assure continuous support for the widows and orphans of Msasani. Did I say ingenious, bold, far-sighted? Yeah.
You are leaving a mark on Tanzania, no doubt.
I'll leave it to you. young guys like Isaac later.
Time flew, days disappeared, and every night when we returned to Msasani Lutheran, we could feel the pace of preparations accelerating. Rehearsals, inside, outside, treeside, and against the wall of holes, music always coming at you. It was such a joyful place to come home to. And some days, one really needed the joy.
It was not a tall building, it just ended at that part.
We visited a 13th century Muslim slave trading village. Seems that Tanzania was enslaved along the coastline by Arabs and in the interior by Europeans, which leaves the modern country 60% Muslim and 40% Christian. When I was a little boy, there were people still alive who were alive when we, as a nation, went to war over a debate, mind you, of whether or not it was right to enslave other people. That both dismays me that it took so long to settle the question, and encourages me that we are perhaps slowly hearing the will of God. The two religious groups get along in Tanzania, but there are issues. We visited a branch of Msasani some distance up the coastline in an area that is 90% Muslim. They told us they don't evangelize at all because some families will kill their sons rather than have them convert to Christianity. And still, someone plays music, chickens are still funny, and kids will play with a ball, any ball, as long as God smiles down on the day. And that's why we are here, Mzungus from Mount Olivet. We have a partnership, a God-blessed hope to die, promise to help one another find a way down God's path partnership. Our continued financial support of Msasani Lutheran's mission is important, of course. But there is something much more important to share, ourselves.
So really Mount Olivet has been very, very instrumental to the achievements which we are witnessing here today. The encouragement, the prayers, and the support, and even the visits like you are doing this, has really given us an encouragement, hope, and an assurance that we are doing the right thing.
That bond of sharing, being together, chatting together, speaking together, laughing together, eating together, it makes a real meaning of love, sharing a love, sharing a bond between Christianity.
Let me put it this way. We as a congregation, we have learned a lot of things from you people. And I believe you also have learned something from us.
Finally, the big day arrived, and it was a big deal. Big crowds, big sounds, big hats, big tents, big speeches, big symbolism, big deal. So now what? The building will be operational in a couple of months, and the Msasani Dream will launch. So where do we go from here?
I want to extend very special gratitude and very special thanks to all the people at Mount Olivet who have contributed quite substantially to our dream, achieving our dream. But I want to urge them, the end has not yet come.
Surely God is in this place.
I suggest that we listen for the voice of God to guide us. We may hear it in a joyful choir or in the voices of children, but we'd better listen because it is a big deal.
Surely God is in this place, holy ground. Surely God is in this place, holy